So, you set up your own private cloud with Nextcloud. You know, that awesome feeling of control over your own data. But here's the thing. We're going to go way beyond the basics today. We're talking about turning that simple install into a seriously powerful, super secure digital stronghold. Let's get into it.
And this quote, well, it absolutely nails it, doesn't it? Getting Nextcloud up and running? Yeah, that part's pretty easy. It feels like you've crossed the finish line. But the real work, the stuff that actually keeps your data safe and makes the whole thing a joy to use, well, that's just getting started.
So you have to ask yourself, what did you actually build? Is your private cloud kind of like a flimsy digital hut? You know, something you just threw together one afternoon? Or is it a real fortress with thick walls and high towers built to handle a real digital attack? Because that difference, it's everything.
And that leads us to this massive shift in thinking. See, a professional doesn't just click install. No way. They become an architect. They build an entire environment around that software, thinking about every single layer of security and performance from the ground up. Okay, so how do we do it? How do we build this fortress? Well, it's not some random process. Just like any great building, it all starts with a solid blueprint. And our blueprint has just five absolutely critical steps that will form the foundation of our entire stronghold.
So here it is, our plan of attack. First, we secure the gates with SSL encryption. Then we reinforce the actual walls with server hardening. After that, we optimize the core engine with database tuning. We'll also plan for the absolute worst-case scenario with automated backups. And finally, we'll pull it all together by adopting the right mindset.
All right, let's roll up our sleeves. Part 1, building the defenses. This is all about locking down the perimeter of our fortress, starting with those main gates and the very foundation walls themselves. Now check out the difference here. It's night and day, right? On the left, you've got the hut, unencrypted traffic, default settings. It's basically leaving the front door wide open. But on the right, you've got the fortress. Full SSL encryption is like a secret, guarded tunnel for all your data. And a hardened server kernel, think of that as reinforcing the actual stone of the walls. It means you're stripping the server's OS down, closing off any unused ports, which are really just unguarded side doors, making the server itself incredibly tough to break into. Okay, the outer defenses are solid. Now it's time to move inside for part 2, powering the interior. Because a great fortress isn't just about strong walls, right? It has to actually work on the inside, and it needs to have an emergency plan. Exactly. I mean, think about it. You could build the most secure private cloud on the planet, but if it's slow and a pain to use, you haven't built a fortress. You've built a really pretty prison for your data. Performance is just as important as security. And that's where database optimization is a total game changer. The database is like the fortress's internal command center and supply chain, all rolled into one. By tuning it, you're making sure every single file request, every upload, every click is just fast. It's what makes your cloud feel powerful and snappy, instead of slow and clunky. But you know, even the strongest fortress has to be ready for a disaster. What if the threat isn't from the outside? What if there's a catastrophic failure inside the walls? What then?
This right here is your ultimate safety net. Automated backups. It's like having a secret, foolproof escape plan for all of your data. If the main fortress is ever compromised, doesn't matter if it's an attack, a hardware meltdown, or just human error, you have a guaranteed way to rebuild from scratch. It's the only way to have real peace of mind.
So we have all these technical pieces, right? The walls, the internal logistics, the escape plans, they're all so important, but they're all driven by one single powerful idea. And that brings us to our final section, part 3, the fortress mindset. This is the philosophy that really makes all the difference. This is it. This is the core idea. It's not just a sentence, it's a declaration. It's a promise to yourself to see the bigger picture. Every single technical step we talked about, the SSL, the hardening, the optimization, the backups, they're all just a result of this one mindset. You're not an installer, you are an architect. And so, this is the question I want to leave you with. After all of this, I want you to take a good hard look at your own setup. Be honest. Is it just a fragile house of cards, one little gust of wind away from tumbling down? Or have you truly built a digital fortress, ready to stand strong and protect your most important data for years to come? The choice, as they say, is yours.